Hey guys, welcome back to Third Street Reactions. I'm Tom.
Shane.
We are back with TMNT Season 5, Episode 9. Okay, so guys, it is Episode 9 in the production order.
Yeah.
Overall, it is Episode 17, however.
Yeah, it's a 4-episode arc.
Yeah, this arc is fantastic. We have a 30-second quick recap we're going to do. Again, Brett put it on the screen so we have it, and go. Last time, we were at Frankenstein's castle.
1818.
1818, Germany.
1818, Germany. Oh my gosh, crap, shit.
Savanti successfully recruits Frankenstein the monster.
Yes, in the monster, they didn't do the whole I'm alive thing. I just had a lot of questions because I haven't seen the original.
Turtles have Raph back, but he's still under Dracula's spell.
Yeah, and I'm questioning the use of Dracula's actual powers. He can control people with his eyes, but he also bites and controls them. What's the freaking point of that? Overall, I really like the story. I think it's running on 30 seconds. Let's jump in.
If I cough, I'm gonna crap my pants. Dude, don't make me laugh. No, it's fine. Keep going.
You need to pause it?
No.
So that's what it looks like. Oh yeah, Back to the Future too.
All right, Shane looks good. So's the garlic.
Yes, the garlic. What does the smell remind you of, Mikey?
Pizza. Sauce.
I love red
Trying to
sauce.
get to Mikey through his love of pizza. That is a low blow, Raph, even for a vampire.
Look, it's us.
That was the beginning of our journey through time to stop Savanti from building his
Yeah, they can just
monster
go
armor.
back, you know.
Didn't really go so well.
If anything, there seem to be more monsters now than when we left.
Look at this.
Yeah, it looks like Youngstown.
Monsters are everywhere.
This world belongs to us monsters now. You'll all soon be extinct.
Yep, backhand. That was one heck of a laugh.
That was a heck of a laugh. And the idea that they're sitting there looking at them laugh, like, he's still laughing. Monsters Among Us.
Savanti Romero and my master Dracula are gonna make turtle soup out of you fools.
Turtle soup. That's from the game.
You ever had turtle before? Saltiest part? The shell.
Because Savanti is changing everything by the second.
And soon you'll all be changed as well.
The red sun rises. Blood has been spilled this night. What are those things?
They're vampires. They're like the shitty vampires in the Strain, dude.
Oh, nice.
That would fucking smash his skull in after that. Good shot.
Oh, man.
It's like in...
Oh.
He just took him out. This is awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So it kind of stuns them.
These things are ugly.
What did he shoot him with?
Hey, that's handy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure those walls, when they get through, they get
You
through.
guys are just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, I would have done that one just
Back
like...
in the sewers. This is our element.
Ooh, I like that.
Everyone in the future will be monsters. That includes the wretched time masters who mutated me as punishment.
That's a terrible thing.
Will be a freak.
Are you not in awe of my plan, Dracula?
Petty revenge. Conquering them will be easy.
I still don't know where to find their secret lair.
But I do.
Oh,
for
yeah.
I know the thoughts of every vampire ever bitten.
What is your bidding, Master?
Yeah.
These two
Whose blood do you want us to suck, yo?
knuckleheads.
Focus on the research, Ice Cream Kitty.
Ice Cream
As far as I can
Kitty!
tell, The lesson these old horror comics are
Look at his
teaching
tail.
us is slay the
Ugh.
master.
Hey, Mikey. Now that we're back in the lair, I'm feeling much better.
I thought it's supposed to subdue him.
Had to be Mikey, man.
Focus the waveform. This should put her at 50% power.
How do they still have electricity down there?
Yes, take garlic off, Rav.
This is so creepy, man.
Nothing can stop us now!
Oh.
Oh my god, you fucking idiot, Mike.
It's like our unwanted guest at the Third Street house.
Animation looks great.
Oh.
I'm so mad. Ugh. Big hairy ass crack.
Frank, not you too!
Frank has no choice.
He's-
Frank must obey Dracula.
He's gonna end up helping at some point.
Not the TV, man.
You're mine, Donnie!
Oh. No.
Finally, the turtles are outmatched. It'll all be over soon.
You know what happens when you mess with junior assistant time masters?
Everything about her is the coolest thing ever.
Oh, you scraped your hand on his. Dude, I'm gonna get. Okay, see?
Oh, jeez. They're so
Oh, that-
screwed.
Oh, an old hospital? That iron door should hold them no problemo. The thing about evil vampires, they hate iron.
How would you possibly know that?
Dude, I read it in Vampire Hunter X issue 6, bruh.
Guys, I'm losing myself.
Does your comic say how to stop a vampire transformation, Mikey?
Not sure. I never scored issue 7.
Wonder how his vampire teeth are gonna look with the gap in his tooth.
Master, I brought this for you. The Time Scepter. Excellent, my servant. What?
Well done, Raphael.
What is the meaning of this?
You are such a dim-witted Zunderkeit, Savanti. Armed with this, I will go back in time to infect early humankind with vampirism. Finally, I will rule the world in darkness.
How you gonna eat?
Why isn't it working?
Who is the fool now, Dracula?
Show me how it works, or I will rend you to pieces.
How it works is simple. That technology is far beyond your tiny bat brain. Pharaoh, if you please.
You pit a mindless mummy against the king of the vampires? Insulting!
We have to try to stop his transformation.
We also have to stop Savanti, stop
It's
Dracula,
just-
and get that
it's
time scepter
awful,
back to
man.
whack.
You remember in the strain when people like were turning in the beginning, how terrible it was? I can't believe it, man. There's gotta be a reason they came here, though. Like,
Nice shot.
why is he in Jurassic Park? He still has a gap.
I was wondering about that.
Like, the teeth would grow there.
Chinatown.
Going somewhere?
How the hell did you get out?
We are on the cusp of a new era where Dracula and I rule all of time, space, and the 10 dimensions, and you will not be able to stop us. Why, you ask?
We didn't ask. No one asked.
Because we will destroy you now.
Stay back, Frankenstein!
No, there's another way. Frank, buddy, we're bros, remember? Dracula is the worst. Doesn't even know your favorite food? Cause I'm your real friend, and I know your favorite food is Frankfurters.
Destroy them, creature!
No! Mikey is a real friend!
Buccaneers just got Tom Brady back.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That was totally tubular.
Mikey makes the whole thing up and gets lucky. Issue number 1?
The time is nigh for the utter destruction of...
Why don't you shoot him?
The immortal Dracula with...
What the heck?
Oh, it used the staff. Okay.
Medieval knights! They'll help us, dudes! Get the scepter!
Frank will master time travel.
How'd he do it? I thought only Savante or... Oh, Japan.
Gross! Feel free to help out anytime, guys! Seriously?
They're the Foot Clan.
This is crazy.
Egypt, the actual pyramid.
Yes! Back right where Oh, not here. Even ancient Egypt is better than the prehistoric age.
The brontosaurus look like shit.
We're focusing on the wrong thing! Didn't Vampire Hunter X teach us anything? We take out the master, we free all the monsters!
Well, just the vampires. Why isn't the sun bothering Dracula?
Yeah, good call. Who threw that?
Was it Mikey? Yeah, it was Mikey. Oh, dude. Oh.
Oh well, he was a jerk. But it's too late, fools. We'll rule all of time and what?
Enjoy your stay, Savanti.
Look at her pushing that hip out.
Check up on you in another 30 years or so.
He's like an unfinished.
So is he dead?
I don't think he's dead. So the people of the future are not very enlightened, are they? They turn him into a monster and...
Oops. Who is this?
This is Renette, the greatest time master who ever lived.
Did that actually happen?
It was no dream, and now I am forever trapped in this forsaken age.
Don't worry, Volko. I'll return you to your time before you became a werewolf.
Thank you, great and powerful witch.
Bitch.
Oh, Frank!
Frank, you turned the tide of this battle. I'm gonna take you to the future where you'll be appreciated by everyone.
Why would they be?
Yeah, what?
They turned
Turtles enough.
someone into a monster as a punishment.
You're the most incredible person who has ever lived in the history of living.
That's the second nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
Wait, what was the first?
You'll just have to wait until we meet again, Michelangelo. In the future.
Oh.
All right, Mikey.
How about some trick-or-treating, team? Tonight is the night.
Halloween Akasha!
I'd be Halloweened out after that, dude. I thought that was a great end to it.
Dracula called him a dim-witted Zunderkite.
Zunderkite.
I wonder what that means.
I don't know why. I don't know. Zunderkite.
A few minutes later.
On the TMNTpedia, the word Zunderkite, which Dracula uses in English in reference to Savante Romero, is an outdated form used for the term idiot or klutz, which dates back to the Victorian age.
It was an interesting choice of words they used for that.
Yeah.
Mikey's theory about vamps hating iron.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't remember hearing anything.
I don't remember that, and they didn't do anything to validate what he said.
Like you said, when he came up with that theory where they were in the old hospital and they barred the doors, like you said, Frankenstein could have just bowled through that door.
Yeah, he could just bolt through that. And plot-wise, besides the fact that it looked cool, I liked how we went all over the place. I felt like that room, like, it has to serve the story in some way, and it really didn't. And he just went in there, archaic-looking hospital, and then Dawn turns there, and then they leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought story-wise, like, it didn't really serve us, other than, like, taking us to all these different locations and places in New York at that time, and then back to New York. I thought it didn't serve the story, but I would not deduct a point from it. It just...
No, and Frank, as they said, really did turn the tide of the battle.
He really did.
Because if not, the turtles would have been screwed.
So these future time lords are not very enlightened in the future, if you ask me. What did they do to Savante Romero in the future?
He was turned into that demon thing.
Monster thing.
As a punishment.
Yeah. So what do they think of how monsters look if it's a punishment?
Yeah, well, so why did she say to Frank, I'll take you to the future where you'll be appreciated?
No, they won't. They'll just think, oh, this is some ex-con. You know what I mean? They'll think, you know what I'm saying? Everyone will be like, this guy obviously was turned. Because look at him.
Dr. Frankenstein looks at him. He's like, he's hideous, an abomination.
I know.
I love that word, abomination.
Yeah.
That's what Malachi said about the pizza that we had last time I was here filming.
Yeah.
8 different toppings on it. He opened it. He's like, this is an abomination.
There was a time I appreciated that he got that, but yeah, it was just a lot of toppings. And I hate wasting like half of the pizza like someone pays for just because like I don't want 12 toppings on my pizza, dude. Just give me something simple.
Yeah.
So they mentioned Vampire Hunter X, a comic issue. So there's a manga called Vampire Hunter, and there's a sequel movie called Vampire Hunter D, and I watched it. It came out in like 2002. It's an anime. It's just like a 2-hour movie. It's really good. So I'm almost positive they got it from that. And he said something about not having read issue 7, or they haven't made issue 7. It just reminded me of some of these comic books and mangas. And there's this Korean manga. It's called a manhwa. It's called Priest. It has this amazing art. And it takes place in a future where this priest fell in love and he sold his soul to the devil, and he hunts and kills demons and shit like that. And it's really good. But like the guy just stopped making them. He's like, yeah, I got bored, and he just didn't make any more. And like in the middle of the story, I was like, hey, it's been 20 years. Keep making it. I'll probably do it eventually.
So you became rich and famous doing it. It's like, I got bored.
Well, they made even a movie on it. It's called Priest. It has I can't remember his name. He's a British actor. He's tall and blonde. He plays in it. It's completely different. It just takes elements from it. It's kind of like World War Z. It's an incredible book and a really good movie, but they're completely different.
Yeah, it was a little strange how I thought the final fight was going to be more of a build up and a little more difficult. It was just kind of traveling through the different time periods, fighting over the scepter.
I actually like that because like I don't think we should try to top what we did with Shredder, and you know, I mean, that should be the ultimate peak of like fighting ability, I think. And then I think to make all these other fights have stakes, instead of trying to go bigger and badder than Shredder and that fight with him and Leo and the turtles on that roof, they need to do other gags. Like, let's have a scepter and they're chasing it and they're falling through time, and you know, they've already established all these other different time periods throughout the show, like in the different episodes. You remember they went back to Japan, and they can just reuse those assets too, so it's easy for them. And one thing that they obviously haven't used is the Cretaceous period, because that Tyrannosaurus Rex, I know you're like, well, what, is he dead? I don't think, I mean, and that's another thing. You know what they do when you're in trouble? They banish you. Why would you banish someone in the past? What if you go around and kill all these dinosaurs and say evolution is real, okay, which I don't know if it is. I'm skeptical of chemical evolution for sure. But the idea of like if we did evolve from these creatures back then, you know, all these different animals, we descended from them, right? A lot of animals that have been pivotal throughout history probably had descended from those animals, right? So if he's living in the Cretaceous for 30 years, just killing everything in sight, I'm sure that's got to do something, right?
Butterfly effect.
Yeah, the butterfly effect. Oh, okay, let me go back to the Cretaceous period. This Tyrannosaurus Rex looks like shit.
Bad enough that you have to point it out.
Yeah. So they do the shadow. The trees are unfocused, right? All it is a picture that they zoomed in, like an iPhone screen. They just zoom in on it. Nothing moved. They just created a noise. They drew it. It's all blurry looking. It's just unfinished. That's fine, because the way they make these things, if you create a new asset, you have to like, okay, it takes a lot of time, so we're going to reuse this thing for the story. It's going to be a new character. They can't just create a dinosaur and make it look really good and like, well, we're going to use this thing once, fuck it. Let's just use a picture and we'll only show for a second and we'll just zoom it in. We'll have sound effects and we'll use shadows. That's how they do this.
If you're a 12-year-old kid watching it.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I want to deduct from it. I'm just saying I just want to point it out that I noticed.
Does it bother you?
It didn't bother me as much when they went into space. And then they were on that one planet that was like Tatooine, and
Yeah.
all, those aliens were unfinished. They looked like shit. You know what I mean? That bothered me a lot more.
Yeah.
But I understand world building when these type of shows, you have to create assets and it takes time, and you should reuse them. If not, it's a lot of money and time that the show they probably don't have the budget for, right?
Right.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So I'm really skeptical about how amazing and enlightened this futuristic society is, like transforming people into monsters and leaving them in fucking time, and the lack of wisdom of doing of putting anyone in the past. I don't, you know what I mean? Like you could say, we'll put them so far back in the past, nothing they can do can fuck up the future. Well, the farther you go back in the past, the easier it will be to fuck up the future.
Right.
You know
And I
what
feel
mean?
like them being, you know, having time travel capabilities and understanding it to the degree they do, they should know that.
The only thing I can think of is like maybe they're like the Time Lords in Doctor Who, and they know like, well, this spot is like this bubble, and there's nothing they can do to have messed it up. Or it could be one of those things, well, if we put him there already and everything is fine now, that means he never messed anything up. Does that make sense? I mean, I just don't know what rules of time travel they're using. You know what I mean?
I think that can quickly become a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
A paradox, but I mean, my love for Halloween, just the whole time of year, fall, and getting to see all these classic, like horror Halloween-ish characters.
Yeah, which
through
by the
this
way,
art.
guys, stay tuned for October.
Oh!
Yeah, we will be doing Scream 2 finally.
Oh!
Tom and the kids, unless something terrible happens, like you die or something. But no, just do it with the kids. And also, we'll be doing...
You're going to feel like crap if I actually die.
You won't die. I'll make sure of it. You haven't died. You're not going to die because we need to hit 100,000 subscribers first. Okay? So you love the Halloween elements. I thought it was cool. When they were at the end, they were like, they make it look like they're going to do some more Halloween stuff. You know, one thing we didn't talk about was like 2 episodes ago, the pumpkin guy throwing his head at the carriage. Now, that was a good-looking asset. They probably... They had to make a good-looking pumpkin man for that scene. And it was really effective because it was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was really cool. I like that guy. He's like the headless horseman.
Yep.
But I also love time travel stuff. Do you have a favorite time travel movie?
I think it has to be the Back to the Future series.
Yeah, it has to be the Back to the Futures to me because enjoyment. But I mean, I think Interstellar gives us, to me, what I creatively as an older person crave. Mm-hmm. So I had this idea at my old YouTube channel to create this graphic novel, and I would be borrowing some thematic elements of Inception. Interstellar. And just the idea, and this is like, think about True Detective Season 1. He's talking about time being a flat circle with M-brain theory, right? Mm-hmm. And in our dimension, we live in the 3rd dimension, right? Or the 4th dimension, right? No, the 3rd, right? We're 3D, but we can observe 3D, therefore we live in the 4th dimension. The 5th dimension is time. Okay, so the idea that to us, we see a sphere, right? Everything in the world is a sphere. We see up, down, left, right. I read this in philosophy class when I was a freshman in college. What's it called? I have the book at home. It's about these people that live in 2D. There's shapes, and they live in 2D and stuff like that. So we know that 2D is a dimension. We know that 2D is a dimension, right? And this is the 2D dimension. So things that live on here, circles, triangles, squares, how would they perceive our world? They couldn't, right?
Yeah.
So the next dimension after our dimension is time. But the idea that Rust Cole says in M-brain theory, our sphere to them in the 5th dimension looking down on us would look like a flat circle. Because that, just like this looks like a flat circle. Because they are more, their brains are much more open to the different the new dimension. That our dimension will look simple. So, what I really like about Interstellar is like, the people that control time and space, which actually is him in the future, fucking with the bookshelf and stuff like that. I just think that stuff is just the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I think of God, and, we know with all the newest scientific measurements that space and time did have a beginning, okay? And it's consistent with a creator, which is something that you and I believe. Yeah. So to me, I know heaven isn't like this because biblically, with our worldview, after the end of the world, there's a new heaven and new earth and stuff like that. So when you die in Christianity, when you die, technically you're not in heaven when you die. You're asleep into the resurrection, right? There's Christian mythology, which is like you die and you go to heaven, or you're bad, you go to hell. That's not how it works. But the idea is like, if you die and go to heaven, then heaven is, so this is where we live right now. This is the past, this is the future, this is the present, okay? And if you are in a different dimension, and this is what it would be like now, or this is what it would be like for a creator who creates time and space. You think, how can you create time? I don't know, because I'm not of that dimension, so I can't comprehend it, right? But if you're a guy, right, looking down on all this, looks like a flat circle. You die in the future, right? You're in heaven. We know we die eventually, right? If we're in heaven, that means we're in heaven now, which means there's a future version of ourselves outside of time and space looking down on us now. That's what it would mean. I know that's not how it works, but isn't that weird to think about?
Yeah, it is.
See, you look at creation, and if you're outside of time and space, you don't look at Tom Weir in 2024. You look at Tom Weir's life on this whole line and everything he does, says, and how he interacts with all these other times. And, you know what I mean? You'd just be a whole different game.
Or just like you said, Interstellar. With the bookshelf when he's watching the scene play out with his daughter.
Yeah. It's inconceivable to think of any kind of intelligence that can do that, right?
Yeah.
But it's so interesting that those conversations. So I know I just went on a time travel thing. It's just stuff that's always in my head. So, okay, guys. Anyways, I think this is the end of the arc. So we got one more, and I will say that we got one or two more because Tom comes down here every month to film, so they don't have to wait. But soon we're going to be watching a new Ninja Turtle show. So get ready. All right, guys. See you next time. You got to take a deuce.